Shalom, this is Brother Dabia from GMS Detroit. I'd like to say all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Crocodile, double honors to the elders, apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the whole elect out there. With this, hey, I just want to get into this little quick lesson. Hey, this concerning this clip I found ran across with Fantasia, and she got a little bit of truth to this point right here. But you can hear like when you see the full. This is an old interview. When you seen the full interview, you heard that bitch Angela Lee, she trying to really actually go against what Fantasia is saying, you know. But this is just a short part of that video, so you can research and find the whole video and check it out yourself. But let's listen to this, and then we hit it with a couple of scripts.
That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at it like, no, I can lead in my household. I can do this in my house. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be, and that's why we bump heads. And I feel like it's a generational thing. It's a generational curse in how society have placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you ain't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. Can we be equal? Oh, of course. But see, at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. It all works together. But you can't be the head of the house. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been. Most women are trying to be the leader.
You ain't the neck, really, you know, but nevertheless, hey, that's why we was given these laws to govern us, you know. Without Yahweh Shai, like he said, hey, we got nothing, man. Hey, so we try to do it the Esau way, and that's why you got 70%, what they call 70% divorce in the Black American family and whatnot, because you won't try to do it Esau way and it don't work. But when you do your Yahweh way, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai way, then things will last forever, man. So nevertheless, but you know, our women are trained, you know, under white Jesus, which let them get away with bloody murder, man. You know, so you cannot, you know, you give these women the scriptures, try to rule over your woman with the scriptures. Hey, she ain't gonna want to hear it, man. You know, she gonna say she gonna confess that she love the Lord and everything, but she ain't gonna want to hear it, man. So let's say, let's hit a couple of scripts. This is 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Yahweh." So yeah, definitely, and it clearly states that the head of the woman is the man. You know what I'm saying? Now the scriptures also said that a wicked man is going to be given a wicked woman, right? So if that man is not letting Yahweh Shai be his head, then he's going to be a wicked nigga, and he's going to receive a wicked woman, and it's just not going to work. And then you're going to end up in that 70% divorce rate. You know what I'm saying? It's just that plain and simple, man. If we let these scriptures govern us, then we would be in a good case. But just Esau creates an environment where you, with his media, his music and his media, to teach you to go against your power, go against your laws. What Esau tell you in America? You gotta go. You gotta have experience, girl. You gotta go out there and date. So about time when a man do get a woman, she done been in the hands of all these other men, and now she got something to compare you about. And then she might like you in the first, but when the going get tough and the tough get going, she gonna be that tough to get going. You understand? She don't want to stick around. You know what I'm saying? Because she got a library of niggas in her mind to compare you from. You understand? You know the scripture tell us that hey, when this woman is supposed to be with one man. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what other script I want to bring out is oh yeah, but this was a part of the curses though that the um This is Jeremiah, and it's 31 and 22. It says, "How long wilt thou go about, O thy backsliding daughter?" It says, "For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth; a woman shall surpass a man." Yeah, and that's true, and we see that day to day. We see how a woman can come up and take your job. You know what I'm saying? And if it come to them hiring between a Jake man and a Jake woman, they 9 times out of 10 they will take the woman because it's a double thing in this country where they can get two minorities with the price of one by hiring her. You know, the woman is a minority and a black. If they say you got to hire a black and you got to hire a minority, you got to hire two minorities. You got to hire so many minorities in your business. Esau has found a cheat code where if they hire a black woman, that covers two minorities. You know, a woman is a minority and she's black. So, hey, that's his cheat code. And the Lord has created this thing in the earth. You know, where this woman, the scripture says it right here, where the woman will surpass the man. Yeah, where a woman will surpass that man, and will come past that man, and she has, man. You know, yeah. And that's the Esau thing. He weaponized your woman, man. You understand? Because the woman she has the children. She has the right over the children, and Esau. You know to manipulate the woman and control her, so he can control you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna over sexualize her. Where you was thinking of every time you see her, she's over sexualized. So that has you off square thinking about sex all the time, and then he can control the woman and have you up on the fucking yo-yo string, man, using this woman, man. So nevertheless, what scripture I want to bring up? This is Ecclesiasticus 26 and 14. It says, "A silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and there is so much, there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed." Yeah, you know, Um, if you look at that rest of that video, Fantasia will go into it with how she received instructions from her husband, and it works out better for that way. Yeah, because a man can see everything, a lot of shit that you can't see. He can see. Um, um, he's a man himself, so he know how other men view you. You know what I'm saying? He know how men think. He got men friends to talk to him and stuff, and so he know how men think. So when a man is telling you some advice about another man, you should always listen. You know what I'm saying? When he's trying to instruct you, he's trying to instruct you how to carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I was just looking at another video where this woman she was just saying that how how if your man try to correct you, that means he loves you. And this is coming from the female mouth. And she had a little video where I should have saved it, where she was saying that if he corrects you, take his time out to correct you, because he was saying that the woman and the man see the world in two different views. You know what I'm saying? And the woman she see the world very emotional, and the man see the world very logical. So when he's trying to help you, is typically for your safety and your best interest. But a lot of women don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because they coming from an emotional standpoint. So a woman just had a video. I wish I would have saved it. You know, had I known I was going to do this video, but I didn't. But nevertheless, she was speaking the truth. You know, saying that man, hey, it's just he really love you if he take his time out trying to explain something and correct you. You know, because a man really don't love you if he don't care. If he don't say nothing to you, he just want to get what he want from you, and then he's on off to the races. You know, but if a man is trying to teach you something, that means he wants you to do it the right way, so he can stand to be around you. You understand? He could be something as far as he could be anything, or even for your safety. Like I remember, I had a time, I had a rule in my house that You couldn't just, my rule was like, don't open the door for nobody. Look out the window, see who it is, or look at, you know what I'm saying? Because in my door, you got to look out the window. And nevertheless, but you look out the window, we identify who it is. If it's a family member, we let them in. If it's not a family member, we leave them on the porch and let daddy handle it. If it's somebody for daddy, you leave him on the porch. You don't never open the door for nobody, no man or nobody. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody that you dealing with, one of your friends, or somebody that you trust, okay, yeah, open the door. Your wife ain't gonna be having no man over there. Come over there, is she? No, she's not. Typically, if it's a man come over there from your wife, it would probably be a relative of hers. Okay, well, yeah, that's a relative. He can come on in. But yeah, just no, none of daddy friends. Just open the door for no daddy friends. So one day I was in the basement doing some work, and my wife at the time, when I was married, she come down there and she said, your friend is at the door. And it was one of my guitar player, one of my guitar teacher. It was he's a he was what you would call an Edomite, but actually I think he probably is a Jake, because the soul he got when playing the guitar. So nevertheless, it was him, and he had brought somebody with him, a drummer. But the drummer was a Jake, and so when she came down there, she was like, "Your friend is upstairs." And I kind of asked her. I said, "You let him in?" And she was like, "No." And then she hurried up and ran upstairs. And then okay, so I came upstairs, and then I opened the door, let him in, and then I got dressed and left out with him. And so nevertheless, um, we get to where we was going, and the Jake he said, "Oh, you run a tight ship, huh?" And I said, "What you mean by that?" He's like, "Your woman let us in, but then she hurried up and came upstairs and told us to get out." And I was like, "For real?" I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And then I was happy that Jake told me that. You know what I'm saying? The Edomite wasn't gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But the Edomite would have been in cahoots with the woman and not said nothing. You know what I'm saying? And the Jake, the Jake had sense enough to mention it to me. You understand? And the Jake knew what he was doing by um when he said that to me, he already knew what time it was. He already knew that when when he came to my door with this other guy and knocked on the door, and when she opened the door and let them in, he already knew that was foul, that wasn't right. He knew it. So when he got a chance, when we got together and met each other, he said, I guess I was an all right guy. The spirit, told him to reveal that to me. And when he told me that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna handle that when I get home. And but he knew it wasn't right because that's probably how he run. 9 times 10, that's how he run his household. And he said to himself, "Oh man, she just let us in, you know." Or he must be really good friends with this white guy or something. He probably said that to himself, you know what I'm saying? And made it a point and made it his business to tell me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got home and I had it, and I tell her, I let her know, like, why would you let somebody in the house, especially in them? And then she went all off on sorry mode and everything, But it never happened after that again. So yeah, man, we have to instruct these women, man. You know, you know. I think that's how you say it. Possession, yeah. Okay. Ecclesiasticus. This is Ecclesiasticus 36:24. He that giveth a wife, um, beginneth be beginneth a beginneth a possession, a help, like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Yeah, hey, she is a possession, and what do you possess? What do you do to your possessions? You treat your possessions, you treat them with care and special, right? You treat them, what I'm saying. You care for your possessions, right? So these women must know when you're entering a man's life, you are entering them. You are being a possession. You ain't no 50-50, ain't nothing. You don't supposed to rule over the woman with like a roaring lion, you know, or with a ironclad fist. You aren't supposed to rule over a woman like that, but you rule over her with your knowledge of these holy scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, the head of the man got to be Yahweh Shai. So if the head of the man is your is Yahweh Shai, then he will be teaching her the rules. He would go over the laws with her and whatnot, and make her see the things through the eyes of the scriptures. And when she look at things through the eyes of the scriptures, she wouldn't have no problem with doing whatever you ask her to do. Like it says, nothing greater than what the last scripture said, that nothing greater than the mind well instructed. Yeah, man. So yeah, hey man. But none of these women that nowadays, they don't want to view themselves as a possession. You know what I'm saying? They get around some of these other hoes that's jealous of them. One thing I know in my life growing up, that a woman is the most jealous things in the fucking world, man. And they super jealous when it come to each other. And they play these mind games and tricks with each other, man. Like for instance, my daughter, she grew up, my second daughter, my youngest daughter, she grew up with all her friends didn't have no daddies. Right? Luckily my first daughter did. All her friends didn't have no daddies, and she the problem. She's the only child. They ain't a kid, but she's the only child of mine that I have problems with. In jail right now. Because with my son, when he went out and played football, when he went and played football and basketball and everything, he was always around other boys that had daddies. My oldest daughter, she went off to Cass High School, which was one of the better for the smarter kids in the city of Detroit, Cass Renaissance and Martin Luther King. But my other two kids went to Martin Luther King, but nevertheless, and barely passed and stuff. But nevertheless, a lot of her friends also had fathers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them didn't, but some of them, most of them did. I would say half and half, something like that. But my baby girl, none of her friends had daddies. You know what I'm saying? And she the one that I'm having a problem with right now. You understand? Hey, because I know the wicked games. The spirit would tell me like, are they making fun of her because she got a daddy? They making fun of her, and then it make her resent and hate her daddy. You know what I'm saying? I even seen this one video, and I may have it saved in my stuff, but I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look for it. But it's a video of a young girl. She was sitting in her bed, and she had her baby with her, and she was a young lady, and she was saying how she hated that her mama and daddy was together. She said she used to always try to break them up. She said because none of her friends had a daddy, and she said she hated that she lived in the house because all her friends lived in an apartment building. And it seemed like they had so much fun because they lived in an apartment building. And she hated that she lived in the house. And she hated that her mom and daddy was together because none of her friends. And I was like, hey, that's some shit. And I said, that's the same shit my daughter went through. Because my daughter and them had her friends that live in apartment buildings, and all her friends were single mama. And so the same shit. And they made her hate that her mama and daddy was together. It made her hate it, and it made her hate having a daddy. And she became very, very rebellious. Don't want to listen, want to do shit her way. Thinking she smart and got all the fucking answers, and now her ass sitting up in motherfucking jail because she want to have a hard motherfucking head, a hard motherfucking head, and a hard head make a soft ass every time. So nevertheless, but yeah, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. Yeah, she's supposed to be a possession on you, man. And like I said, you're not supposed to rule over her with an iron fist or, I'm saying like a roaring lion. You're supposed to rule over her with these scriptures, man. Rule over her with these scriptures. Yahweh Shai supposed to be your head. And you're gonna have to give her what Yahweh Shai, he's the light and the truth, right? So you're supposed to give her the light and the truth, man. That's these scriptures, man. This is our light in this dark tunnel, man. This is our rod and staff in this valley of the shadow of death. So nevertheless, yeah, if you find a woman and hey, and she, pleasing to be with you, she want to be with you, and you think you want to, we don't go by Esau's his way of marriage, but she might do. You know what I'm saying? Um she might be like traditional shit. Like, oh, she might want to wear it with the white dress and all that shit, the kids dropping the flowers and all that. She might want that traditional thing, and by you loving her, even if you in the truth, you might want to give her whatever she want. I say you might want to give her. She might have that effect on you. So don't beat yourself up or feel bad if you got a beautiful wife and you love her dearly, and she want to have a traditional white wedding where she put on the white gown, and she, she might even have kids or whatever, and she all be in a so-called church or whatever, or a hall, wherever y'all want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a scripture that says that if your woman is not of the your if a believer or in this truth, that you don't have to put her away. You can keep her, and then you're supposed to be an example on her that she may come into your God. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, yeah, hey, you know, no, we ain't telling you to bow down to Caesar Borgia and let a Caesar Borgia priest, you know, um, um, recite some of that rubbish over you and whatnot, and 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 those vows and all that. Which, if I was to marry somebody, I would come out of the scriptures with these scriptures that I read, especially this scripture mainly right here. This is what I hit them with. I would make her know that she's a possession. You know, This is what I will lead with. You know what I'm saying, to that woman, and then I get on that man and let him know like the only way this is going to work is that Yahweh Shai be your head. And my daughter is engaged to get married, and I that's on my mind. I said if I'm, Lord willing, she get married and I'm there, I am going to go up there and read these scriptures, and this will be the first one I read right here. It's Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, 36 and 24. This will be the first scripture I believe with. You know. So nevertheless, hey, I just want to get into a quick lesson, man. Hope you be edified. I would like to say all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh double honor to the elders, apostles, GMS who rule well, and shalom to the whole field left out there.